tan Wranglers to start wearing. Like back in the old days. What do you think? I mean, because I wear these and they look good, so.
They do look
Why can't I
good.
just wear me some tan Wranglers?
Aren't those comfortable though?
These are very comfortable. They're way more comfortable than some tan Wranglers would be, I promise you.
Hey guys, welcome to today's video. It's Bar 7 Ranch.
So today are we going to go do some feeding today?
We're going to go do some feeding. Actually, we're actually going to go do it today.
Okay.
But we're starting out by checking on the rescue
Old
mission.
steer number 43.
I'll have to drop down in. You tell them the story and I'll drop down the video.
So this morning I came out. We're filming today. It's on a Sunday afternoon, but I came out about 7:30 or so this morning to go feed my steers. We were going to run into town and eat breakfast at a Mexican food restaurant. And when I got here this morning, one of my steers had his head through this bar right here, and he had been in here for a while. I mean, you can see how much he's rubbed. I mean, he was there long enough, he rubbed all the rust off that piece of pipe. His head was already swole up real big. You know, I thought, well, he's probably been here a couple of hours, but we looked back on our security cameras. We have one facing the feedlot here, and he had been in here, had his head stuck in this fence since about 7:30 last night. So for about a good 12 hours, he had his head stuck between these rails. These rails, just for reference, there's a little over 10 inches between these rails. And steers can get their heads in this, and normally they can get them out. The problem, I think, with him is just the angle that he stuck his head through and got it all in there. But needless to say, he was in bad shape, and I was already dressed, ready to head to church. So I just brought my Sawzall over here, and I just cut this bar right here so that I could, you know, give him a little room to get out. And, you know, a lot of you are going to say, I've already seen it on all the social media posts, well, you know, a good handyman jack will do that, or a car jack, you could have bowed those bars. Well, I don't keep junk laying around. I don't have a bunch of car jacks just laying around in the shop to go grab. I've got a handyman that's broke right now, but I've got a really good Milwaukee Sawzall that cuts just like that. I mean, and I got a welder and I need some practice, so that's why I just cut it. It's the fastest, easiest way to get him out. These steers right here, just standing like they are right now, those steers are worth somewhere close to $4,000 a head. So, you know, there's 20 of these steers, there's $80,000 worth of steers standing right there when they're finished and ready to sell. So I'm gonna cut a piece of pipe that takes me 2 seconds to cut, instead of hunting around for a jack and hoping it moves and does what it's supposed to. And then even if you just bow this up a little bit, I've got to get him to move back to just the right spot so that he'll come out. And so I cut it, guys, and I'm not worried about it.
Okay, so here's my question though. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Why did you use your foot? Why were you so rough with that?
So that was
poor little.
So this
steer.
is a steer right here. He's number 43. He's standing right here by the water trough right now. And
how much do you think he weighs? 1,300 pounds?
Man, he's gonna weigh 13 or better right now. Yeah. The swelling has gone down some on his head, but you can still see there behind his ear right there how swollen. I mean, his head is still swollen right now, but I'm glad to see he's up. So what I did was I put my foot, mind you, I had my church shoes on, and I slid his head back because I was trying to get the saw in between here to make a cut pretty close to this, so it would be easy to make the repairs to fix it back right once I got him out. And, you know, I'm not gonna, the first thing that most people want to do is put their hand down there. Maybe I can pull his chin up. Maybe I can do this. That's just a good way to get your arm broke, or you know, if you get down like this, I mean, he could always lunge forward and hit you, or if you've got your hand in here trying to push him away, break your hand. It's a whole lot easier to just push him over a little bit with my foot and get his head back so that I maybe didn't cut him with my Sawzall when I was trying to cut that. And then once I got it cut, and he was kind of still in a little bit of shock. He didn't know what to do. He was tired of pulling. You know, I gave him a couple little pushes with my foot there, just to get him to back his head up and pull his head out so he could get his head up. For 12 hours, he'd had his head strained and down on the ground. And but it's a good sign to see him over here drinking out of the water trough right now. And he's still a little wobbly, still got a little, but I think he's going to be all right. So.
My favorite comment was the CPR one.
Yeah,
Like-
so somebody said, we had a lot of folks are like, I can't believe you they said stomped. I did not stomp him. I put my foot on his head and pushed. And somebody said, when you do CPR on a person, you're liable to crack a rib or two to save their life. Well, sometimes when animals are involved, you may have to hurt them or not cause injury, but they may hurt themselves and stuff in the process of saving them or trying to do better. Sometimes you got to do some harm to do some good. But
And in no way was that harmful.
no harm was caused to this steer.
That
right
steer
here,
weighs
yeah.
1,300 pounds.
So
That was your foot.
So this brings up a question. I was telling Erica I'm going to ask this question, maybe start a debate in a little controversy here is, so this steer right here, I could take him up to the chute, put him in the squeeze chute, give him a shot that would, I could give him something to help him a little bit with his pain. I could give him something that might help with the inflammation, just, very mildly, like an antihistamine or something like that to help with that swelling. But a lot of folks would then say, well, he's deemed unfit for human consumption because he's been given medicine. So what do you think? Personally, I'm not going to give him anything for a couple of reasons. The first being is he's not hurt that bad. Yes, he's going to be sore. He's going to be like me or you. He's going to have a sore neck for a couple of days. It's going to take a little time for that swelling to go down. It's already gone down some from this morning when I got him out. So I'm going to allow his body to do it. Now, granted, if for some reason he got sick or it got worse, then yes, I'm going to do whatever it takes to keep him alive. But in the same school of thought, even if I do have to give him some medicine, I don't think he's unfit for human consumption. What I'm going to do with him then is I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to write down the medicine I gave him, the day I gave it to him, how much I gave him, and then I'm going to follow the instructions on the back of the bottle that says, hey, he can't be processed for food for 21 days or however long it is. And we're going to follow those protocols before we process him.
And that's how long it takes for that.
Whatever that medicine
Medicine
is, yeah,
to
we're
get out
going
of
to
his
follow
system.
withdrawal dates on those particular medicines that we give. So, but what are your thoughts? What do y'all think about that? So,
All right. Well, he's good. So we are going to go head out west and feed cows.
we're gonna go feed some cows.
Kylie comes home today. We're going to feed cows the old-fashioned way.
I got my new cake feeder today, mounted on the old truck, and I know for a fact it's way louder than my other one. So, all right, guys, let's go feed some cows.
Kylie's coming home today, so we're trying to get over there and get back before she gets back because she's been
I'm
gone
not
for
gonna be in a rush.
7 days. Yeah, you're not in a rush to see her. That's not very nice. These goats right here. This is what we got. This is what we deal with, guys. These goats right here got their freedom about 4 days ago.
And what we mean by that is they have been in Clancy's little show pen.
Being hand fed every day. And now they got freedom to green grass and they continue to come up here under the barn.
They do not know what to do with their freedom. I mean, they're just like, they figured out how to cross the cattle guard. One of them can crawl under a gate, so she continues to crawl under a gate.
And they try to come up here to the barn, basically to where the pen is. The other day they were standing right in front of their pen. Like, let me back in.
Yeah, like it's almost. I think it's almost akin to what I'm sure I'm going to get some hate or some grief on this, but it's like in the movie Shawshank Redemption, where the guy been in prison for 20 years, 30 years, and he gets out and he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to handle his own freedom, and I think that's something maybe incarcerated folks have dealt with in the past. Is like, I don't know that. I've never been incarcerated for that length of time.
Let's not do that either.
Yeah, well, I'm not planning on it,
Okay.
but it's like they don't know what to do with their newfound freedom. It's like, well, what are we supposed to do? We've been handed everything we got. So we haven't done a video on this thing yet, have
Let
we?
me show them your new pickup.
So, I got a new truck. I upgraded. I traded my old work truck for a new work truck. And this is not anything fancy, guys. I mean, I noticed to some folks, yes, it's way upgraded
It is a new
from what
pickup.
they drive. It is a new pickup, but it's not a, it's not a Denali or a
It's not like my
High
car.
Country or any of that. I mean, it's got cloth seats. It does have a cloth floorboard, but it's got a rubber mat over it. power windows and locks, but it's not leather, it's not heated seats, not air conditioned. I mean, it's got air conditioning, but not air conditioned seats. It's just a plain
Jane
it's
edition.
basically, they call it a custom, which the only thing I think a custom is it's got a power seat on the driver's side,
It's already dirty.
and they went to 20-inch wheels on it instead of the 18s or something that are standard. So, but we're going to be putting a new squeeze bed on this one instead of a spike bed. I've got my old bed back over here, but we're waiting on that bed to get finished being built, and so until then, we're just going to be
Oh, a power tailgate.
using the old feed sacks until we get the new bed put on and get the cake feeder remounted.
So we're gonna put the old cake feeder back on.
We're going to put that cake
We
feeder
might get
on
it
the new
painted.
bed. Yeah, we might.
We'll see.
And then the old bed, I'm going to keep it for the foreseeable future.
You should ask them what they think. You should about your new bed. What?
Well, they don't have the ability to powder coat in
Oh,
a different
man.
color, so
Okay.
I'd have to
Never
send it
mind.
someplace else. So,
Cody was thinking about getting his new bed powder coated the same color to match his truck, but
Erica said that won't look good. You don't need to do that.
I went back and forth.
So a couple of things. I harvested my old grill guard,
I like the
Front
word harvested.
my front replacement off of my old pickup. I've already got a guy that spoke for it, so we're gonna get this to him. Actually, I'm just gonna have him come to the house here, and we're just gonna pull it in the shop and mount it for him.
Because it wouldn't fit. It would fit, but it doesn't fit correct.
It doesn't fit
Completely
correctly because
correctly.
right here, this little deal right here where it comes up on my old pickup, it doesn't do that on this one the same way. So that wouldn't fit on here.
But we already have a new one. You probably saw us walk by it out there. It's on the trailer. So
That's the new one that we're going to put on here. We might do that tonight. We ain't got nothing else to do.
yes, we do. We're working on my pickup.
But this bed I'm going to keep. What I would like to do is find a used, like a regular cab 4-wheel drive Chevrolet pickup, or maybe just a used regular cab pickup that's got not a gazillion miles on it, but just a backup truck to have setting. That way I could drive maybe it and not put as many miles on this one. I mean, I'm putting about 30.
Cody doesn't even drive this truck. He
Yeah.
literally drives Black Betty every single day to work over there.
After Kylie wrecked this one and it kind of lost a good bit of its value because of all the scratches and dents in it, I'm like, well, I'll just keep it and drive it, put the miles on it back and forth to town every day, and not mile this pickup up, and try to save some. My white pickup, it was out of warranty after a year and a half. I mean, it had lost all its bumper to bumper warranty, so I want to try to keep a little bit of that warranty on this truck.
You
So
like those leather seats.
I do like
heated-
the heated
heated
seats for my
air-conditioned
back and
seats.
everything. So, all right, let's get
We're
going.
at place number 1 in the new truck. No siren.
No siren. They've already noticed us, but let's give them the old horn.
I mean, the sheep at our house on day 1 flocked the truck, and they'd never seen it before, right?
They never seen it before, yeah. But just a little horn blow and everybody's a coming.
They're coming.
So these cattle belong to our neighbor, and we take care of them for him, help with them. We mainly just do the feeding and
Help work
do the
them.
processing. When it's time to work cattle, me and Clance come over and help run them through the chute, do all that, pull any calves that need to be pulled, do all that kind of stuff. So he's bought a few new Red Angus heifers that he's got in here, and most of the cows though are going to be about a quarter Beefmaster, a quarter to half Beefmaster, and Red Angus. Yeah. Or Red Brangus. Some of them have got a little Red Brangus in them, but
Sorry about the dirty windshield. Cody's truck's been sitting, so it got nasty. What is it?
Do what?
What were you saying? Is that what?
Well, it looked like there's a couple of calves over there on the wrong side of the fence, but maybe not.
I wish I could turn the seatbelt off. I guess I could. We'll get back in.
I don't.
How'd she get over there?
There's a spot or two back here where the fence isn't real tight. I bet she just went through one of those.
Will that gate open right there or not?
Yeah, maybe.
She come through it or not?
Yeah, I think she'll come through it once. I'm gonna turn around right here. See if we go.
You got a whole line of cows behind you.
Yeah. You should be able to just unchain it right there and pull it to the inside, you know what I mean? Oh.
This way?
Yeah, but you're probably going to have to pick it up out of the ground first. There you go. That's good. That's good. Now close it. Good job. So like I said, these cows belong to our neighbor, and we just help them out. They've got a high fence deer ranch also, and spend a lot of their time managing their deer. And I really like this set of cows.
Where are you gonna feed?
We'll go back up there. Bump somebody. Are you gonna shift?
Cody says he's gonna put the feet out. Okay. I thought you were using your new.
Like in the old days.
Like in the old days. Here we go. Let's see if I can get y'all a view. Where are you at?
Not like back in the old days. You can't let the tailgate down while it's moving.
You can't climb over the back?
I didn't want to climb over the back. I wanted to sit on the tailgate and do it. Hey, hey, hey.
This is my new trip hopper.
Oh, yeah?
It was made in 1980.
Early model.
It's an early model. He's a little, he's got a few hang-ups.
Still got a good paint job, too.
He's got a few hang-ups, but he's pretty all right. All right, we're at place number dos. We'll see if they recognize us. I guess I have to get the gate.
Are you talking to me now?
Not really. I just found the car of my dreams, and Cody said we're not
The car.
buying it.
What? Tell me what it was.
An El Camino.
What year model?
1968.
That's your car of your dreams? That's the only one you've ever wanted your whole life?
You know I love El Caminos.
She
When
drove
we
one
went-
one time.
Because I loved El Caminos. And we got there and there happened to be one. I didn't just make it up that day, did I?
I guess not. But we've got plenty of projects. We don't
Okay,
need
but
another
it's
project.
still-
We're going to look like a junk. We're looking like Sanford and Son out there.
And Cody's like, you already have a pickup and he's got a brand new car. Okay, Cody, you have a Power Wagon and you bought a Peterbilt and you just bought a new pickup.
Well, I've been live longer than you, and I've wanted a Peterbilt longer than you wanted an El Camino. So that's
what
that.
trumps it.
The black car is currently yours, so you actually have 3 cars.
Sell
You have-
it.
It's not going to offset the cost of the one you want over here. When
You don't know. We haven't called
Y'all
them.
tell her when she gets her pickup finished, when the Power Wagon's finished, and we don't have any other projects,
This
the
one will be
Peterbilt's
gone.
finished. Then
And it's a perfect.
Then that means it wasn't meant to be. If
This
it's
is
there-
not the way it would go if it was something Cody wanted.
If it was, if it's there when we get ready for
When
it,
we get
then,
back?
then no, then that means it's meant to be, and God
I
wanted
can't
you
tell
to have
y'all
it.
where it is because I don't want anybody to buy it before.
It's in Pottsville, Texas.
Stop! It's gonna be sitting in my yard in 2 days on our anniversary. I just know it.
It needs to be painted. It needs door handles. It needs bumpers put back
It has
on.
a super sweet engine, it looks like.
And it's probably awesome.
It's got racing tires on it.
You know what's got racing treads on it? Your shoes to race over and get that gate open so we can get something done. I swear. Guys, I get aggravated at her for being spoiled, but it's my own fault because I've spoiled her since we started dating 20 years ago. It's my own doing and my own fault, but man, it's aggravating. I mean, but I'm not going to give in and buy this car, I promise you. I don't care how many nights she has to be mad and not talk to me.
Come
It's just the way
on
it's gonna
through.
be. So let's go feed some cows. That's what we're here for. We're here to feed cows, not to buy cars, and that's what we're doing. End of story.
Cody's funny. The cows have not recognized you yet.
They've not recognized the new
They're still laying over there.
feed mobile.
I'm excited to see what they do about think about the horn. I guess when
Well,
Carlos comes out
uses
here,
his horn,
yeah.
so. One of the things, guys, so we had Car Audio Chris, our sound system guy that helped us set up Clancy's truck. He came by last week, or earlier this week, and kind of got a game plan together to get Erica's truck all booming and shaking and thumping.
And lighted up.
Lit up. Lit up.
Lit up.
We also kind of looked at some stuff for the Peterbilt to kind of get some sound in the Peterbilt. And they've got some cool stuff coming out for these old plain Jane pickups like this. And we may end up doing some upgrades, like changing some speakers out, putting a different
Yeah, because Cody's got the little tiny screen here.
screen in. They've got a
We've got like a big one.
where you just pop this thing comes out and it's a whole new thing that just pops right back in there with a bigger screen. So he looked at that with us and kind of got some ideas on that.
That'd
But
be cool.
where was I going with this? What were we talking about?
I don't really know. You were turning me down on my
Yeah.
El Camino, and then it turned into this conversation.
Where was I going with that?
I don't have any idea.
I don't either now.
You didn't tell me. You just started talking
Oh,
about it.
that's what I was talking about. So in my old pickup, right here in the dash, I had to take all this out.
Hold on, let me show 'em.
I had to take all of this out and then cut a square hole in the dash right here to mount my switch that runs the siren and the cake feeder. Well, when Chris was here, I was talking with him,
I
and
always make this go the wrong way. There we go.
when Chris was there, we were talking, and he's got these little wireless remotes that like have 6 or 8 functions. You can run rock lights off of them, all kinds of stuff. And I was like, well, all that thing does is just actuates a little solenoid under the bed, or tells the. So I'm going to attempt to hook up my siren and my cake feeder to a wireless remote, so I don't have to cut into my dash. And then I don't have to run wires up here in the cab. I can just mount everything in the bed and be able to run it. So,
Be pretty cool.
pretty cool. And it might even give me the ability, look, I could trick cows with it, because I could park my pickup in the lots, run the feeder with the remote.
Genius.
And then when they come in, I can jump out from the bushes and shut the gate on them.
Except there's not a lot of bushes.
Except there's
around
not
the
a lot of
lots,
bushes,
but-
that's right. There's a lot of bushes chickens around, but not a lot of bushes to hide behind.
They hear you. They're coming. They come to anything that looks like a feed truck, it looks
You
like.
know what? This just looks like a regular truck, but what this tells me is these cattle would be easily stolen because they just come to
They come to
anything.
anything.
So instead of driving and dumping this out, I'm just going to get it. There's only a handful of cows here, so I'm just going to hand feed them. Just
I can't believe you're not making me do any of this.
carry the old sack.
I'll do the next one for you.
You can do the next one. You can do the Longhorn place where we're only going to put out like one sack.
Okay. You saying I'm a lightweight?
No, I'm just saying I'm trying to be nice.
Oh, okay. These guys are the cutest. They got cute little white calves. What's up, number 12?
Woo! Come on.
Where's all the babies? Oh, y'all back there.
So let's talk about this feed. Come over here. So I know we'll get asked about what we're feeding these cows. So this same company that makes the bulk cubes that we buy and put in the cake feeder is called Livestock Nutrition Center. I think they've got a main headquarters kind of down around Cameron, Texas. So our local feed store carries that, and that's what we buy here. But these are see right here, the Range Max 28 cattle cubes. So they're 28% crude protein, 8% fat, 12 fiber, and 7 phosphorus. But really good feed. I think it's one of the better cubes you can buy on the market today. I mean, it's what we feed. What we feed the sheep. What we feed these cows. You can see here. I mean, it's a DDG, dried distiller's grain cube. It's just a good product, guys. So if you're in Texas, I think they might even have some places outside of Texas. Livestock Nutrition Center. Today's video brought to you by...
Nah, not sponsored. All right, we're at place number Trace.
Yeah, number Trace.
And Cody's,
We're assessing some wind damage. This was not this damage. This little barn right here was not.
we haven't been out here since the high winds. Let me look. Let me turn you around. Yeah, this one's got, but it's not near as bad as you think it would be.
Yeah, but it's
It's had some good damage.
blew in the front wall on it. I can't tell if there's any more tin and stuff going off of that.
It kind of looks like that little front part has a little more damage, but maybe
Yeah,
not.
I don't know. I can't tell.
That's my favorite house.
You kind of forget about it and don't think about it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I think this one's had.
the wind got this because this wall
wall
right here
wasn't
was
falling down.
wasn't falling down like that, and we're gonna have to get something done because that's one of the
part of
wings.
our-
That's part of our pinning situation. So
That's part of our pen.
when we first started coming here and So these cows that we're checking out here today belong to a good friend of ours. Is actually Erica's old youth pastor, and we I don't know how long, nearly 16 years ago. Clancy was just a baby when I first started.
It was just a baby.
I guess I was checking them before that because I brought Clancy in his car seat a bunch when he was a little bitty
I don't
baby.
remember that at all, but you do, so.
Well, I was working at the dealership when I first started because Carlos was like, "Hey, I need somebody to check cows during the week." And when I worked at the dealership, I had a day off during the week, and I was like, "Well, that's perfect. I can go feed cows and check cows on my day off, earn a little extra income." And I remember bringing Clancy with me when he was like having to change his diapers. He was so little.
I just do not remember those things. That's awesome.
And this barn was still in, I wouldn't say pretty good shape. It was standing, had a roof on it, and it's just gone downhill.
See, that's what's cool about these videos. Like, now we have videos, but we don't have those, we don't have memories from back then. Videos.
It's kind of sad because somebody spent a lot of time cutting all those cedar posts to make the, and to form this and make the foundation of it and everything. I mean,
Yeah.
And just
To watch it slowly and.
it's always been in pretty bad shape. It was never usable since we've been coming for 16 years.
It was always usable as a extra part
Basically
of our pen.
as a fence.
Yeah.
When we first started coming over here, this little cross fence right here was not here.
Because
There
we used to pin stuff over there.
There was a little pen right back here. Kind of this pen right here was kind of here. And it just stopped right here kind of at the back of the barn. And the way you would pin these cows is there was a little bit of a cross fence right over here where this pen is to the right of the barn right there that went that way. And what you would do is you would pin them right over here into that. You would come up there, and then we were feeding a lot with sacked feed like we are today. And what you would do is you would just kind of stop. You'd call them around, then get out, and you would carry a sack of feed back here through this little gate right here where the edge of the barn is, and you dump your feed in here, and then you'd go back, get in your truck, and back up, and whatever didn't come in, you could kind of get around them and bring them down that wing and bring them in here. And then we had 2 or 3 little deals set up in their panels. It was always a disaster. They were going through in the corner over here, or they would jump through, tear up this corner and get out.
You remember Clancy roping that calf in there?
Clancy wrote, that was so cool. Was that
I think we have a video of that.
Was that when were we creating content then, or is it just something we did one day?
We were on Facebook back then, but
Yeah, we need to find that and add it in here if you can.
yeah, I'll try to. And I think it's funny, like that wing you're talking about, that is not a fence anymore. I mean, that's completely down now.
Yeah, it's
too.
completely gone, and we don't even use that round pin, that pin back there. That's where we used to do all the sorting and the loading. It just didn't work. A few years ago, when that thing finally got to the point where it just wasn't working real good, and it was like, we're going to have to do something. This was a fence right here, this steel post and fence right here. It was there, but it was just an old run-down fence. And I told Carlos, I said, what we need to do is, you can kind of see there was an old catch pen here, and I said, we just need to get somebody to come over here and build a new fence here and build a new catch pen right there, because that gives us a little more room. And the way this works over here is we can call the cattle over here by this old house and then shut this big gate across here. Then you can just make you turn and come in here and feed, and those cows will usually just follow you right in there. Then you can pull out and shut your gate, and you've got them. Then you just push them down into the pen. And from there, if we don't bring the portable pens with us, if we don't have them, you could still take them if you had to come just bring a trailer and load a few things, a few calves or a cow or two, you can still use that if you're real easy with it. But it's pretty dangerous now. That old barn's just in bad shape. So
This is I remember pinning cows over here that one day when you wore your yoked shirt.
yeah. So what was
I don't
Carlos
remember what started that. Carlos had some yoked shirt he wore or something.
Yeah, he had some kind of fancy shirt. We saw him somewhere. Oh no, he was always jacking with y'all for wearing a bright colored shirt or something.
So I wore like fluorescent yellow that
when it was
day.
when it was time to pin cows or something, and he's like, "You can't wear them shirts like that. It messes with them. They don't want to." So when we knew we were coming to pin cows out here, I was like, I had an old like a tan Wrangler welding shirt, and we had some material left over from Clancy's baby blanket, right? That Meemaw made for him.
Yeah.
And it had like Western, cowboys and windmills and longhorns. And I took and made me some yokes that went over and across the back, and I sewed it on my shirt and wore it that day just to mess with Carlos.
And then did me and Katie both wear something bright that day?
I think
I
y'all
think we
did,
both
yeah,
had a
just to
bright
mess with
shirt
him.
on.
But to add insult to injury, I had this goofy shirt on, and we went to the sale barn.
That was that day?
That was the same day, yeah. And we had a calf or something that didn't want to get out. It got down. It was a little weak orphan calf or something, and I went in there to pull on him to get him up, and my feet, it was so slick in there, my feet slipped out from underneath me, and I landed flat on my back in a trailer full of manure.
I know I have a picture or video of that.
Yeah.
I don't have a video of it happening, but I know I have a picture. So
A month or so ago, when I dropped some stuff off at the sale barn, Zach was there, that runs the Gatesville sale barn now, and he said, "Man, I remember that like it was yesterday. That day you fell down in the trailer." He said, "So
was he
at
out
least
there?
everybody, yeah, he was a kid.
Oh, y'all
then.
were unloading.
We were
So,
unloading,
yeah.
yeah.
Because I was not there.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, but I was
You
at a
weren't there.
different spot or something.
Yeah,
Did
I
we
don't
bring
think
two
you. I don't
trailers?
think you saw me fall down.
No.
But you had to scrape the
Yeah, I was
poop
scraping
off
poop off of
yeah.
the back of you.
so I could get back in the truck.
Oh, I see the
Oh,
cows.
there's a cow.
They're
So-
under the tree.
Y'all want to see me get up on this?
Oh, I should have videoed that. You almost missed it.
You weren't videoing?
No, I should have videoed it with my other phone. Oh, wait. Yeah, I was videoing. Woo! Thank goodness.
Just like a TNS, without the noise.
This is a CNA.
Yeah.
Did you say without the noise?
Yeah.
Brother, this got the noise, I tell you.
I can do it just like this, see? Ka-chow! Clank! Clank. Recording?
Green is good. We're on the last, what is this? Numero.
This is the fourth place we're checking
I can't
today.
remember which one. You have to say it in Spanish.
Cuatro.
Thank you. All right. Let's go feed some cows.
Let's go put, I've already counted them, so I'm going to put them
5
in
and 5, babe. It's
gonna-
pretty simple here.
I'm going to put my
There's
log in there.
1,000 million times more cactus or prickly pear than there are
There's-
cows here.
Yep. So let's get them fed. Come on, girls.
Where's all the girls at? What y'all doing? They're like, what's this guy doing getting out of his pickup and putting sheep around? Oh. And I
Time to
don't mind if I
Pull some
do.
calves off over here.
I know that boy right there is a big one.
Got 3 of them right here. 1, 2, 3. Maybe 4 you could probably pull. That little guy needs to stay a little longer. Stay all night, stay a little longer.
all done. Now we just gotta go home.
Guys, thank y'all for joining us today on this little cow checking adventure. I'm going to cover this up a little bit. A little cow checking, feeding adventure today. I know it's kind of boring, but it's just kind of just a leisurely Sunday afternoon, just feeding and counting.
This is what we enjoy doing on Saturday or Sunday. We've been sending Fred a lot lately, so
This is our break time. This is just our date.
this is kind of our weekly date.
This is our 20th wedding anniversary date weekend.
Cody. Yeah, because Cody turned me down on our getaway, so.
And because that's not enjoyable.
All right, well, 2 days, it'll be 19 years.
19 years of wedded
Marriage.
bliss. Wedded bliss.
Has it always been bliss?
For me, it has been. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
I would say God bless you, but He already has when He gave you me.
Oh my gosh. Y'all keep ranching.
Wrenching and
Praying.
We'll see y'all later.